helping local businesses get ready for wildfire season.
Ed Lenderman is live at the Carlsbad Safety Center with details on the Fire Awareness Symposium. Certainly an important symposium for people in Carlsbad after the Poinsettia fire, Ed.
Absolutely. The date is May 14th, 2014, 10:34 in the morning. A perfect storm, according to a Carlsbad battalion chief. 4 days later, the Poinsettia fire had caused $22 million in damage, and it could have been far worse, literally burning to the sea, had it not been for the work of Carlsbad's firefighters, joined by neighboring agencies, including San Diego and San Marcos. 5 years later, almost to the day, the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce and its Ready Carlsbad Business Alliance is holding a morning-long fire awareness symposium here at the Carlsbad Safety Center. The idea, spread awareness of the 2019 hazard and to talk about the need to prepare. We are obviously out here so as not to intrude on the speakers. Among the speakers is David Harrison, who is Carlsbad's emergency preparedness manager. We had spoken to him earlier, and again, the emphasis, and the reason I bring up his name, and we'll tell you about that momentarily, because you're going to see him on our air later this weekend. We were talking with Mr. Harrison because this is about the business community. You know, when we're talking about fire preparedness, very often we're talking about, have you talked to your family? Do you have an evacuation plan in your home? You know, 2 ways out of the house, 2 ways out of the neighborhood, if that's possible. Where are your children going to be? Where are you going to manage in terms of, or how you're going to manage your pets, etc. But this was 10:34 in the morning. We don't always think about the fact that this doesn't happen in the middle of the night and scrambling. 10:34 in the morning. You've got, you know, Carlsbad is rife with business parks and offices, and you don't want to choke those streets as it relates to the first responders, etc. And again, this fire sparked up awfully quickly. 5 years later, I was talking to David about the cause. They still don't know for sure, but it certainly wasn't natural. It's either a cigar or a cigarette or a golf club. Remember that video? The golfer apparently striking a rock, and that could have caused the spark, but there was never anything definitive as it was at the golf club that hit the rock, and the palm tree goes up. And again, it was a perfect storm. It was warm, it was windy, and you think, you know, they just couldn't contain it. And 4 days later, $22 million in damage. I also bring up David Harrison's name because at 11 o'clock this Sunday, San Diego people, it is going to be devoted to preparedness and awareness for 2019, and David Harrison will be among the guests on San Diego people this weekend, Sunday at 11 o'clock. And as he was leaving us during our live presentation when we visited with you last, he said, could I remind your audience of something? And I said, absolutely. And he said, if you see something, say something. We think about that as it relates to the suspicion over a terrorist activity, somebody leaving a bag, or somebody over in the corner who doesn't appear to be acting as it relates to the rest of the public, or a threat to the rest of the public. See something, say something. The same applies to this. It's not just a matter of seeing a puff of smoke. If you're out driving around and you see some people, maybe a contractor, and the foreman isn't necessarily there, and it looks like, you know, should they be sparking up those rocks like that with that heavy equipment? You need to as vigilant as everybody else. You need to get in touch with somebody and say, that just doesn't look right on a very hot day. Somebody throws a cigarette out the window, etc., and there's a lot of dry brush right there. So you get the idea. Again, this could have been a cigarette or a cigar, or as the video shows there, maybe a golf club hitting a rock. So see something, say something, because if the conditions are perfect, you know, unfortunately, and that was the case 5 years ago, almost to the day. We are live in Carlsbad. Again, Mr. Harrison on our air on Sunday for San Diego people.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. All it takes is that one spark.
I know.
When conditions are prime, and
Wow.
like it said, we saw that happen.
Can't believe it's been 5 years.
Thank you,
All right.
Ed.
Thanks, Ed.